What's going on, guys? It's Bryce here, and we're back with another video, a huge video, a very research heavy video that I put together for you guys. I'm talking about the entire Ultra 85 lore up to this point. I have gone through every single Logic album, rollout, promotional media, merchandise, everything. And I have pieced together the story of the Ultra 85, and I am here to tell you guys everything you need to know before the album drops. And when the album does drop, I'm going to have a full Logic lore video, so if I missed anything, which I maybe did, probably did, this is where you guys come in. Let me know in the comments anything I missed, and it will end up in the full Logic lore video. But for Ultra 85, I think I've covered everything that is important. So we're gonna start out chronological order. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of backstory leading up to the album. We're gonna go through, I hope for this to be more of like an informational type video. So if I'm not doing the theatrics, I apologize. But we're getting into this. So this story starts with Under Pressure, and it leads into the Incredible True Story. So the Incredible True Story and Transformation of the Man Who Saved the World is a script that Logic wrote that takes place in 2150. Its audio cinematic experience mainly takes place in sonic form about a space pilot, Thomas, his partner Kai, man of infantry, who, from time to time, interact with the ship's AI component, Thalia, designed by C Corp. Very important, we will return to that. Life on Earth is non-existent, as we have destroyed it in search for a new place to call home, the search for the planet called Paradise. It is Thomas and Kai's job to man a mission to what we believe is our new home. Upon picking up Kai from the Babel space station, the two strike up a conversation about the oldies music Thomas had been playing before his arrivals, music from long ago that has nothing to do with the concept. As the Aquarius 3 readies to venture off on their mission for mankind, Thomas explains how he just listened to a certain musician's first album, and cues a second as they depart. So that is the storyline of Incredible True Story, and they are referring to Under Pressure, of course. We know Thomas was listening to Under Pressure on the way to Babel Space Station. He gets there, and then, once they take off for Paradise, they're listening to the Incredible True Story. So I'm going to show you a video that kind of goes into more backstory about how Earth was destroyed from Logic himself, and it will all tie in. Bear with me. This is all important.
In the year 2023, Japan and America merged to create a super nation. Famine has struck in. Resources and animals have died off so much because of our pollution and what we've done to this earth, so much to the point where we have created, and if you go back and you watch the Young Jesus music video, and you watch the last scene where I look like a fucking pervert, which is funny, with my wife, and you read the bottom, the news clip talks about all this shit that's happening in the world to create genetically engineered and enhanced meat that is raised in an unconscious state and then slaughtered to be fed to the masses. So essentially cloning in a way. And the way to produce it in the most fastest manner to distribute to the world is through China. China is fucking America with the money and the cost that it is. And the only reason they can do that is because they have the power, because they have the people, and without China, we wouldn't be able to distribute to the five first world countries. America contacts Russia, who now have they have a royal family. We hired Russia in secret to assassinate the president of the People's Republic of China. They agree, but the price was not money. They wanted land. So Russia wants Alaska. And so very reluctantly, America agrees. The president of the People's Republic of China is assassinated. The vice president becomes the president. The war is over. A treaty in secret is to be signed between Russia and America about the business deal that went down in other terms, because you can't talk about murder and all this shit, to give them Alaska. As soon as the king, the Russian king, steps onto the tarmac, he falls dead of cardiac arrest. I believe it was like 5:22 p.m. or some shit. His son, witnessing this on television in college, because he was only in his 20s, cries in anger and frustration because his dad was only 59 years old. He knew it was bullshit. And he fires and declares nuclear war. When it did that, essentially it poisoned the earth. It poisoned the entire ocean, and because the magnitude was incredible. Because that happened, all of the first world countries had to move into one location in Central America, like the Great Lakes. We created a super city called Babel, and since it poisoned Earth's oceans, it eventually got into the ecosystem of like fresh water and taps and all that shit that we had, spring water, and it was fucking it up. They created a chemical that would purify the water, and then billions of people started dying, and nobody knew why. The residents in this city become smaller and smaller and smaller and go from the billions to the millions, and we didn't understand why. It was because the genetically enhanced meat that was raised in an unconscious state to be slaughtered, mixed with the chemicals, created an insane virus that plagued humanity. And we calculated how quickly we were dying and how the fact that we could not live on this earth anymore. And within a 10-year span, we created the Babel space station, which holds 5 million human beings, and flew everybody up there and left Earth in 2065. And that's how it all happened.
So this video does refer to the end of the Young Jesus video, which was a single for the album. So it says, US and Japan to merge in 2023, C Corp to create artificial intelligence program that will become a part of the family, as CEO Robert Campbell puts it. That name is just Bobby Campbell, his mixing engineer. He just threw that in there as an Easter egg. So they're talking about Thalia, obviously. If you did not get that yet, the space robot, you guys all know her. They're talking about Thalia, and then it says, scientists at MIT created genetically engineered meat harvest in unconscious state in anticipation for famine. So we know that this killed humanity pretty much, and it seems that there's only a few humans left, and Logic even kind of hinted at this in 2020. I don't know if he slipped up here, but I'll play this clip.
Album, The Incredible True Story and Transformation of the Man Who Saved the World. 5 million human beings left in fucking existence, or so we think.
Very interesting stuff. Or so we think, he says. We will return to that. A lot of this stuff we will return to, but I'm building the foundation for the story. So, moving on. I want to take a look at the iconic hoodie or spacesuit, these patches on them. So, looking at them here, we can see the Babel space station, we see a Thalia patch, we see a Paradise patch, we see a US and Japan merged flag patch, a Children of Earth patch, and a C Corp patch. Of course, they designed Thalia. We will return to that Children of Earth statement later. So, at the end of Incredible True Story, Thomas and Kai do arrive at Paradise.
Surface contact in 10, 9.
What's that sound?
Life.
Now, pushing forward into the next chunk of the story, we have Everybody. So I'm gonna play a little bit of the Everybody trailer and talk about what exactly is going on.
And this next piece, children, as you already know, is called The Plaza, painted over 300 years ago back on Earth.
Can we go look at it?
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
It is beautiful. Yeah,
Is that how people looked back then?
that is how people looked back then, yes. Back in the day, there were different creeds, nationalities, colors, but it's all different now.
So, these children in here, if you noticed what they said, they were like, is this how people looked back then? All the children in there seem to be mixed races, melting pot. Very logic of him to make all these mixed race people basically have the story around them. But he's right, in the future, that is probably how people are going to look like for the most part. And I also want to add that I think these could be the Children of Earth that we were just talking about. I don't know, but it does seem to be placed way in the future, so I think these might be those kids. So, going into the cover art, everybody, it's this grandiose thing. Now, we have this little thing here we've been worried about for years. It says Thalia Trader on the cover art. Now, is Thalia a traitor to Logic, the Ultra 85, or Thomas and Kai? I don't know. We have some new information we will return to when I get later on, but I saw this theory on Twitter that said this is apparently a battle sequence. So, Everybody, the cover at least, is based after the cover of Ultra 85. Now, this is just like a Tarantino movie. You guys know Logic is the biggest Tarantino fan in the world. And of course, since we have these new audio files for Ultra 85 that we're going to get into at the end of the video, a robot, which is believed to be Thalia, or a new AI program called Rosalind, which we will get into, almost gives the answer to what Logic's favorite Tarantino movie is.
Logic's favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is...
So I think this theory is true. I really think it is. You can see, you know, the robot statue, it wouldn't make sense. And especially since this is Thalia Trota, this is all taken place after the events of Ultra 85, I believe. I don't think the album itself is, but it seems visually it is very Tarantino of him. And in the booklet from everybody, there was a secret message found, and it announced Ultra 85. As you can see here, he's like, my next album will be Ultra 85, and it will be the end of the saga. Now, an earlier version did leak from around this time, but the new version is vastly different, and I think we can be expecting something extremely different than what we have heard already.
It's gonna be the last one, so you motherfuckers better buy that shit and tune in and see what it's gonna be about, because it's gonna be very special. I'm gonna do something that has not been done in hip hop before, and I mean that conceptually as well. It's gonna be the one that ties. It's the quadrilogy, you know. So if they're putting on the next one, it must live in that incredible true story universe, and it's gonna be the story to end all stories, including my own.
And at the end of the album, Thomas and Kai are walking on Paradise for a little over an hour, where they play Young Sinatra 4.
Damn, man. We've been walking forever. Well, Thalia's tracking system says we'll be there in just over an hour. Shit. At least we got good walking music. Or is that it? No, man. I'm queuing up the 4th album now. His final one.
Young Sinatra 4 starts out the same way everybody did with Thomas and Kai walking in Paradise. And at the very end of Young Sinatra 4, that is when they should arrive where they're going on Paradise.
Well, Thalia's tracking system says we'll be there in just over an hour. Shit. At least we got good walking music. Or is that it? No, man. I'm queuing up the 4th album now.
This would show why some of the other albums don't exactly play a huge part into the story, but there is still stuff to take away, especially even on Young Sinatra 4. Logic has a lyric about Ultra 85 referring to a group of people or entities. You know, he says, he kind of goes through his discography here. I was young, broken, infamous Young Sinatra that was undeniable, who welcomed you to the forever while under pressure and told you the incredible true story of Bobby Tarantino and everybody in the Ultra 85. Now, I think that sentence is very important when we get to the Bobby Tarantinos, which we're about to get into. So, another thing to add with Young Sinatra 4 is there was this Easter egg in the cover art, and it says Adios Persona. Now, this is also on the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind cover art, and this is an anagram for the saying Paradise Soon, referring to the fact that Ultra 85 was always real, and we just had to wait for it. I kind of like how Logic just shoved that in our face and lied for the past few years when it was right there, and people were holding on to hope, and they were right. And also, Adios Persona, literally saying Adios Persona, bye to his persona, which is Logic saying goodbye to Logic and ending the saga of the story. You can look at this Discord message here. He says, let's put it this way. It's the last Logic album of the basement, the last about rap shit, the last album, the conclusion of Logic classic rhyme schemes, all the subject matter I've been dealing with and learning over the last 10 years. It is the last traditional and true form Logic album that will wrap up the quadrilogy. It is a farewell to all that shit, the true closing of a chapter of the kid under pressure and everything after and whatever will be fun, different, Dilla, Nas, ship, indie, blah, 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 whatever. But I want to focus on this quadrilogy here. So this is from the storyline, the main storyline. I believe it's referring to Under Pressure. Thomas is on the way to Babel Station listening to it. Incredible true story. Thomas and Kai listening to it on the way to Paradise. Everybody just given the lore that has to do with the cover arts and stuff. I don't think Young Sinatra 4 is involved despite it being there. There just wasn't much story apart from that one little skit we already went over. And Ultra 85 is closing it out, which makes a lot of sense. Now, with some of those other albums, there is a theory going around that I feel like I need to add in here. A lot of people think Thalia is the one controlling Logic on Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Looking at the cover arts here, you see extremely similar positions of both of them there, and we even know Logic has this concept art of him being in this robot suit, the ATM suit from Everybody, so I think that's kind of hinting towards that in there. And also, because the subject matter of the album being very different from Logic stuff, being a lot more ignorant, and also there's kind of reversed portions of the song that kind of sound like they say, help me. There's some fishy stuff going on. Also, on the Confessions of a Dangerous Mind cover art, you can see Thalia right there on his shirt. So there's a few things to add in, and I think that might be important when we do listen to Ultra 85. Right now, we don't have the answer to that question, but I wanted to add it in here because I think it will be covered. Now, moving on, No Pressure. Logic's quote-unquote retirement album. Now, No Pressure drops, Thalia is returning, and we don't really know when this album takes place since there is Thalia. I don't know if it's canon in the lore of Thomas and Kai. I'm sure there's something there. I'm sure someone's listening to it. Maybe not Thomas and Kai. I don't know. but there are plenty of Ultra 85 references on here, even a portion of the album being considered the Ultra 85 program, being the song Amen in the outro. And I'm just not sure how this all plays in, but it's very interesting because looking at the back cover of No Pressure, this was allegedly the original cover to Ultra 85 that he's been working on. You can see Logic sitting here drowning and in Thalia's over the water. So this is making me think, going back to the Thalia traitor, Thalia is more of a traitor to Logic himself. Now, who is Logic associated with in this timeline? How does he as a character play into the album lore apart from him just rapping the song as such? Now, you notice that robot hand from Logic. Looking at the cover arts that we've had, the Everybody cover art, you can see that is Logic's hand here. How did his hand get like that? So this is where Bobby Tarantino ties in, and this is why I think that line earlier saying, told you about the story of Bobby Tarantino and everybody in the Ultra 85, I think that is very tied in. Now, looking at the three cover arts here, this is my theory. I think Logic is a part of the Ultra 85 in the lore. I think this is his quest for paradise. You see in the first cover here, he has this poster of paradise. Bobby Tarantino too, they are driving on the way to paradise. Kind of hard to see, but it says 85 miles. Now in Bobby Tarantino 3, you get the crash and you still see that paradise sign there, burning with the car. So I think the Ultra 85 are a group of 85 people, maybe 85 entities, groups of people, and I think they are people who are inhabiting paradise. Now that seems very obvious, but who are these people? This is my theory. I think they are extremely wealthy and rich people that somehow left Earth. I think this because it goes back to what Logic was saying. Oh, there's only so much left of humanity left, or so we think.
Album, The Incredible True Story and Transformation of the Man Who Saved the World. 5 million human beings left in fucking existence, or so we think.
I think these are humans on Paradise. I think these are some of the most rich people that are in, that have somehow made their way there, secret. They just left Earth behind. I genuinely think that. And I think the Bobby Tarantino covers are kind of depicting his story there. I don't know how it's gonna play into him like dying, but a theory I have is after that car crash, that's when he gets put in the ATM suit. Maybe he gets upgraded. We're gonna talk about that because now we're getting into the new Ultra 85 information that's gonna tie everything I just talked about together. So I'm gonna play this clip of Logic explaining Ultra 85 as an album in present day.
And so this album, for example, I've been working on this album for years and years and years. And in a few weeks, I'm going to finish it. And I've been open and I've had fun and I haven't been scared. And now I'm about to go in and hone. Okay, we need to turn these up. We need to bring in the sax here. Okay, let's bring flutes here. Let's make sure that the background singers don't sing it like that. They have to sing it like this because I know what I want now and I know essentially what it needs to be.
So that's very interesting. This is just kind of the approach to the album. The cover art's crazy. You know, we have the Ultra 85 logo, the flags and stuff we're going to get into. So there's a group of people that were in the Incredible True Story that we have some information on. They're called the Elite. They are Smith, Ripley, and Holiday. Now, these are the people that embarked on the Aquarius 1 that allegedly died in the Incredible True Story on White People Scene.
I'm receiving audio embedded in the ship's distress signal.
This is Captain Christopher Smith of the Aquarius 1. The year is 2093. Time unknown.
The entire crew is dead, and I've finished on my last hours. Whatever you do, do not come knocking.
So from that, it seems like they got killed. I don't think they did. Now, I think they found paradise and left that message behind to scare others from finding it, because they want it for themselves. Now, why do I say that? Boom, we have this Ultra 85 spacesuit. Now, I think this is a complete juxtaposition, complete opposite of the Incredible True Story jumpsuit, because that was worn by the Aquarius crew. This is worn, allegedly, by the Ultra 85 crew, maybe the Elite, I don't know. But what I'm saying is these patches are from their perspective. So, going through these patches here, had to do some decoding here. If you don't know, there is a language of the Ultra 85 showing that they are people that interact and have their own culture. It's called the Altarian language. So if you didn't know that, now you do. But I'm going to translate these for you guys. So it says Ultra 85 established in 2031 with the 3 colors of the Elite right here. And these guys were confirmed to be the Elite via Bobby Boy Comics. They are in cahoots with the Ultra 85, it seems, or maybe even founded it themselves, or were on a mission to meet up with them, all the rich people that were there, I don't know. But then we have the Elite logo. And then we have In Thalia We Trust, kind of showing me that I think Thalia is siding with the Ultra 85, maybe being a traitor to Thomas and Kai. I think that's how it's going. Still kind of making me wonder how she's a traitor to Logic, given the back cover of No Pressure, but maybe Logic does work with Thomas and Kai despite being part of the Ultra 85, and that's why she's a traitor. Maybe Thalia led them all there for a specific purpose. Then we say We the Ultra 85, established in 2031, with a flag on Paradise, establishing that pretty much what I've been theorizing is saying they found this place. Then we have the Adios persona again, referring to Ultra 85 being everything we talked about with that. And it says We the Ultra against everybody, directly referring to Thalia Traitor on the Everybody cover. I know I'm talking about that a lot, but I think it's very obvious that there's going to be something about Thalia that's going to change some shit. And then we have here Smith, Ripley, and Halliday Aquarius 1. So they were the first ship to go to Paradise. I don't know what happened to Aquarius 2. We don't know anything about that, but they are the first. You know, Thomas and Kai are Aquarius 3. So this is all lining up. This is all lining up from what I could see now. Because of the website Logic put up, atm301.com, the Babel website, lots of new information and files, and Logic said there's more to come soon. So there's more to uncover, and you guys know when it does, I'ma be here for it. But we found these two dialogue files, one inferring that Kai dies, basically. As you can see here, you see ATM talking here. They seem to be battling with ATM, and then we have the new name Rosalind here. Now, I want to talk about this because I think this is actually the voice of the Tarantino clip we talked about earlier.
Logic's favorite Quentin Tarantino movie is...
And the other is an intergalactic report. There's not really a lot to talk about here, but seems that Thomas has been arrested, and he's being interviewed about what happened on November 13th. Now, November 13th was that file, the first file we just read, where Kai died, and that is exactly 100 years after the Incredible True Story release. So that was very intentional. It seems that this was a whole thing. Thomas got arrested, and there's some shit going on. I think it's confirmed that Kai dies, pretty much. But this is the main thing that's interesting here. We know that Logic has a song, Upgrade 2. Really, it's called Upgraded, he said. But it's referring to an upgrade, obviously. If you've heard the Incredible True Story, you know, there was like, Thalia got an upgrade. She could do these AI voice impersonations, Big Sean, whatever. You know what I'm talking about now. I think Upgraded could be a climax of the album, a plot point where someone gets upgraded. Now, I think it could be two things. I think Logic is going to get upgraded into the ATM robot. Like I was saying, the Bobby Tarantino 3 cover, look at him. He's like a ball sack. He's disheveled, and then we have that concept art of him in the ATM chute. That could be the upgrade. To make him live on after that, that could be the upgrade. And this even makes me think it more, is if you look at the Incredible True Story, the original title was called The Incredible True Story and Transformation of the Man Who Saved the World. Now, what world? Paradise, it seems. We've all thought it was Earth this whole time, but I think he's saving Paradise. I think Logic rebels against the Ultra 85 after being there. I think he joins Thomas and Kai, and he gets upgraded into the ATM suit maybe after they defeat Adam. I think that's entirely possible. Now, the other upgrade is maybe they just get rid of Thalia entirely. Maybe they realize Thalia is a traitor, and they gotta get rid of her, and there's some process they go through to upgrade Thalia into Rosalind. And I believe Rosalind's voiced by Logic's wife on the album. I could be wrong on that, but it's looking like that's the case. So Ultra 85, in short, I mean, that's all the information and research I've done there, but piecing it all together, to me it looks like Earth is dying, people are dying because of this food shit going on, some of the richest and wealthiest people make their way over to Paradise, maybe before the Aquarius 1, maybe with the Aquarius 1. Maybe they're Aquarius 2, and they get there after Aquarius 1, but Aquarius 1, with the three people known as the Elite, Smith, Ripley, and Halliday, make their way over to Paradise, claim it for their own, pretend like they died, they fake their death, they join the Ultra 85, or they start the Ultra 85, and maybe they come over on Aquarius 2, maybe they were there already, I don't know. But the Ultra 85's there, and then Aquarius 3 is sent out, Thomas and Kai are sent, they get there, and then they notice that Thalia led them there for one reason or another. The ATM robot is there to fucking kill them, and somewhere or another, I think Logic is part of the Ultra 85 as a character. I think he is going to side with Thomas and Kai, and I think there's going to be some type of battle here. Like I said, Logic might get upgraded, Thalia might get upgraded to Rosalind, I don't know. But Kai dies, Thomas is arrested, and the fate of Paradise and the Earth, and extension, is all within Thomas, Logic's, and Rosalind's hand, and they have to find a way to beat the Ultra 85 so they can get to the celebration that is the Everybody cover. I'm no genius. All of this could be wrong. All of it. Or I could be very close. I don't know. We're gonna have to wait for the album, and once it does drop, like I said, a full Logic lore video going over everything I just did, but of course we'd have the answers, and I'm sure we're still gonna have some questions after the album comes out, because I think once Ultra 85 ends, very logic of him to start a new story immediately after with some sort of cliffhanger. I know he's saying this is the end of the saga, but if the Ultra 85 has taught us one thing about Logic, don't listen to that fucking liar. Don't fucking listen to him, ever. I'm telling you. But we're gonna have to wait and see. So this video took a long time for me to research, and I know it's gonna take a long time for me to edit. So if you guys enjoyed, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. How excited are you for Ultra 85? And if you guys enjoyed watching, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell so you don't miss out on any videos, updates, anything like that. Go in the description, follow my TikTok, my Spotify, my Twitter, my Instagram, get that weekly updated new music Friday playlist, and join my Discord down there too. And yeah, it's been Bryce. Peace. That's what the Bryce